investigation of this grisly murder.
Holy Christ, what the hell are we up against?
I bet it has something to do with some red trees. Now this is the part where I have the most problem with this game, is that like
His eyes were pulled
the
clean out of
right
their
analog stick
sockets.
just does not want to
Whoever did this, it
go over
wasn't their
these
first time.
functions.
And if they committed any other murders like this, it's likely that the police found some of the bodies. I must remember to ask Alice.
He has some big pores.
His teeth were all pulled out before he was killed. The buildup of blood inside his mouth speaks for itself.
Now, I'm not gonna go super in-depth to what I know about criminal investigation, but some of this stuff...
This isn't a cut, it's a tear. His hands were
Ness
ripped off.
wouldn't really know without an actual
has that
crime scene
kind of
investigator
strength?
that is like 30 years outside of this.
Pity he won't last till Christmas, because he'd almost pass for a tree.
What a flesh
There's no
blossom.
doubt the murderer took his time.
Oh my, why would you put that there? He has visible pants line. Oh, he's got pants on. Okay.
Once he got stuck in there, looks like the bottom of a glass. It's Boccherini, no doubt about that. Although the one I remember was more together.
So, speaking as someone who did work with forensic scientists for a wee bit, no one has this much blood in them. Just gonna...
The blood
let you
comes
know.
from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall.
Ness's procedures are not the complete worst, but no one has this much blood in them.
The evidence suggests that the events began in the lounge. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer?
I'm gonna get just the facts, ma'am, and then I'll do the thing.
Whatever crushed the table must have been really heavy, or maybe it was thrown extremely hard.
And for some reason, the controls just go completely backward for some reason.
A perfectly circular dent, as if someone had tried to hammer in a gigantic bolt, around 4 inches in diameter.
Oh, you know, glass.
Fingernails scratched the wood. Blood ran like water.
That whole segment was just incredibly finicky for no good reason.
What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off?
No one. Not anyone wearing a relaxed watch ink.
Blood. Blood everywhere. Did it break during the struggle, or was it already broken?
Probs during the struggle.
This was opened recently.
Of the finest California. I didn't get this option earlier. I'm gonna drink. Drink it, drink it, drink it, drink it. I am leading Eliot Ness on the road to ruin.
Smells of whiskey. Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside.
A gun?
There's something under there.
No gloves.
How did
That's
it
also
wind up
bothering me.
under
No
there?
gloves.
Not one round fired. It must have happened fast.
Alright, let's do some of the board here.
The murderer tore Boccarini's hands off. Boccarini's teeth were all pulled out. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccarini's eyes still
I don't
haven't
know
shown up.
how
What if I look
I don't
for
know how
whatever was
mutilation
used to
rolls out
remove them?
a personal angle, because you could mutilate someone that you really didn't like. But
2 pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table.
not that clue.
What looks like the bottom of a broken glass.
Nope. I don't know.
A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. An open bottle of whiskey. Pieces of glass from the window in the hall found inside the house. A pistol, fully loaded. I'd say Boccarini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant
What I
burst
don't like
in through
about
the
this particular
window.
segment is that there's not a lot of
Boccarini pulled his gun, but the
instruction
murderer
on how to
disarmed him
do
before he could shoot.
what you're doing. I
Where did
just
the torture begin?
am kind of seeing my way around
A
it.
broken whiskey glass found. A blood-stained wristwatch with the glass broken and the strap fast. A trail of blood from the dining room. What looks like the bottom of a 2 pools of blood, one on either side. A broken table, scratched and covered in. The bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccarini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position?
Is it... Speaking as someone who studied, American history, I don't think this is considered a lynching.
The trail of
So
blood
much.
from the dining room to the hall. What looks like the bottom of a broken whiskey glass found in.
Well, fine. Just all my clues. I've done all my clues.
What is it with Italians and olives? They lap those things up like caviar.
That's a bit racist. Just a smidge. There are 3 plates there.
Like a true bachelor, he should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage, I don't think Boccarini's too worried about that. Four glasses. 2 of water, 2 of wine.
Doesn't explain the 3 plates, though.
I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one.
They didn't have much of that. Never mind. Nev's mind.
Leftover lasagna.
4 plates.
It looks good. Why is it that 2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks? I'll never understand what the deal is with them and cooking. The plates and the glasses leave no room for doubt. Boccarini had company for dinner.
There's a knife missing.
1 knife's missing. The biggest one.
And the door won't open.
Shut from the inside.
Well, I think obviously whoever killed people is totally behind this door. Yes. Slowly navigate my way back to the... Ooh. The blood room. So were the windows boarded before he got murdered or after?
Takes a strong man to tear that out. Or several.
More blood. He wasn't dragged in here. Again, I say, no human being has this much blood in them. Oh.
Blood and some kind of sticky liquid.
Ah, liquid. Oh, what a crazy altar. And a crazy symbol.
What is that?
Looks like a skirl.
Oh, shit. I should have stayed in my diner.
Word, Ness. We all should have stayed in your diner. In rigor mortis, fingers don't move like this. Well, I guess we found those.
Are these teeth from the body? Well, at least I know why his teeth were pulled out, more or less.
It's not all his teeth, but whatevs.
A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of stick. A mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccarini's eyes. The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest two possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it? Some kind of symbol drawn in blood. A sick altar of human flesh.
I don't know how
Although I
the
don't know the
teeth
origin
and
of the
hands
symbol
are
in the
connected to
bathroom
the
and the altar of
eyes,
flesh
but,
and teeth. I'd say the motive was some kind of
because the
occult
eyes weren't used in
religion.
the altar.
The big question is, who did it?
Let's go down to Lynching City.
What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccarini's back. A broken whiskey glass. Dirty plate. A door in the lamp. Torn off its brackets. Boccarini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama.
Okay. Well, sums it up then.
Looks like a ritual. What was Boccarini mixed up in?
Like the worst thing. A door.
Jammed shut from the inside. Maybe between the two of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, this door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen.
Don't go in there, Ness. There's a murderer in there. I leave my garage door open all the time.
This car looks too classy for a forger like Boccarini. Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccarini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccarini.
Well, let's check the car.
Let's take a look in the glove compartment.
That's where I keep all my clues. If you open my glove compartment, it's gonna be
Bingo.
like 10 years worth of
A man's
registration
cigarette
notices.
case. OB, one of the Boccarini clan?
I don't think so.
Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way.
Alrighty, so Dar was a witness.
A car
For
with
the
Vermont
car.
plates. The initials OB
For
on
the
the
case.
cigarette case. 1. It has Vermont plates.
The witness.
2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3. The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner. The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up?
These
The
two
door in the
mysterious
kitchen,
doors.
locked from the inside.
Fuck.
It opens onto the same room as the what looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. A broken whiskey glass found in the
I don't
dining
know
room.
how-
It seems
I
clear
don't-
that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise.
I
The
will
real
roll with it.
question is, what happened to the
This
witness?
is not a particular
Did they
fault of this
escape?
game.
Did
Any
the murderer
game that has
take
like a
them?
mystery component
Or are they
often
still in the
has
house?
perplexing
The door in the
and
corridor
completely
jammed
silly
shut.
clues.
It opened the door in
And
the
the
kitchen,
glass in his
locked
back
from the
is
inside.
one
One
of
locked
those.
door could be a
Because, like, I mean,
coincidence,
if you're gonna throw a body on
but
a
two
table,
locked
you're not
doors
gonna
which
throw it
open
with enough
onto the
force
same
to put
room can't be.
a glass inside
Either
somebody.
I'm
It's
completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors.
some fragments, but not the whole glass. It's I hit that
Mr.
doorbell.
Ness, can
That
you
shit
open the
didn't
door
work.
for me?
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
When I came in, I pressed the doorbell and it didn't work.
Well, in light of the facts, I deduced that it was your finger that wasn't working. So,
Is his
what can
turtleneck
you
attached
tell
to
me
his
to
neck?
restore my faith in
I
you
don't think
as a
that's how those
detective?
work.
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me.
Dialogue is straining
Boccherini
my
had company
ability
for
to
dinner.
listen.
Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law.
Who do we know that was called OB?
He served
Who could have
lasagna,
killed somebody and had
after
a
clearing
fancy
away
car.
the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That
Are
was
you
when the
clever
murderer
listeners?
burst in on them, coming through
Because
the
I
window,
told you
which
the
he broke
answer.
with his own body weight.
Like,
Boccherini,
2
or maybe
episodes
his
ago.
guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast, he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccherini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccherini's
I actually
back.
really like this.
He span around, clawing at the
Again,
table, and
the
immediately afterwards, the
dirtiness of the
murderer ripped
lens
off his
is
hands.
just detracting from
I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests
the
he just
interestingness
pulled.
of how it's.
Blood sprayed everywhere.
performing.
The wristwatch fell to the ground.
And then that's really all I would say
He
about
dragged him
this.
through
Is
the
I just
corridor
don't
into the
think that the
hall.
game needs that kind
He
of
tore
gritty
down the lamp,
lens flare.
hung him from the brackets, and stabbed steel rods through his body. He skewered him on the iron bars, possibly
Less is
taken
more
from the fence
in game
outside,
design,
and pulled
I
out his
think.
teeth one
And
by
I mean,
one.
I'm not coming at this from like an expert of game design, obviously.
Finally, he scooped out his
But
eyes
I
with a
feel-
teaspoon. Boccherini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in
It,
his
it
teeth.
helps, and also, so
There,
he
he
didn't drag
arranged
him
them to
down the
make an
hallway to
altar,
put his hands in the
weaving
thing.
the fingers together
So
and placing
why
the
is
teeth
there a
inside.
drag trail down the hall?
Next, he painted something on the wall in blood.
Why
a
are there
symbol which I
blood
don't recognize,
splatters
but
everywhere?
which could have
It's
some kind
just-
of ritualistic significance.
Too much blood.
When he'd finished his artwork,
No person
he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
Has that much blood.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own, just by looking?
More or less.
I don't know which of the two of you scares me more. Wait a second. What about the guest?
Right. Come with me.
I bet he's in that room. Put down your camera. Oh!
Nothing.
Turns out Mr. Untouchable isn't infallible, but you were close. Congratulations.
This must be Boccherini's office. Let's take a quick look around.
All yours.
Reading at a crime scene.
You're at a crime scene, and you sit down to read?
Yeah.
Titus Andronicus. One of the actors on the Hindenburg lent it to me. They're performing it soon. You couldn't ask for more appropriate reading material. Murder, mutilation, torture.
You can't tell what my
Shakespeare's
face
got
is
it
like
all.
permanently planted on my desk. Because this murder, very similar to one that is in Titus Andronicus. You know, if someone doesn't cook someone in this game, I'll be very disappointed. As an avid fan of Titus Andronicus. So the greatest lull moment of the Anthony Hopkins film version, it has Alan Cumming and Anthony Hopkins and a few other people. And Anthony Hopkins is playing Titus Andronicus. The end of it, Titus Andronicus, he cooks the Queen of the Goths' sons and feeds them to her and the Caesar, who is played by Alan Cumming. And that is a supremely adorable reference, I think, by casting him in the film version at least, to Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal, and it's good, and I always enjoyed that, and Anthony Hopkins could have gotten that role regardless of his history with the character Hannibal, but it works really well. You should read Titus Andronicus, or at least watch the film. It's a very good movie. It's a very good play.
Jesus, there's at least $1 million here.
And actually,
Baccarini's?
critically of the time when it was
I'd
written,
be surprised.
it was
Probably
deemed
his
one of
guests, and I
Shakespeare's
doubt it was to
worst
pay
plays
Baccarini
because
for
of
his
the gore
services.
and the
None of his
violence. And
forgeries are worth that much.
it just was beneath the subject matter of what he usually wrote. And I love it for that, because people hated it so much, and it's actually really well written. And Andronicus's one of his last monologues is really great, talking about just being pushed to the edge and cooking this woman's sons. It's creepy as fuck, but it's good. I recommend it. You can get it on the
Carlo,
iTunes
I have the
or the
goods for
iBooks
OB,
and
but I have to
Amazon
take the children
for
to school tomorrow, and I
probably
can't
free.
make the meetup. Friday, same time, same place. It's signed N.I.
These initials are getting to be a pain in the ass, right?
I have to take the kids to school tomorrow. I don't think this is some loving divorced daddy, Milton.
I take back what I just said.
I didn't realize he was wearing a sweater. That makes it even cuter. He can't put his tie inside his sweater. Well, I think we've seen everything that needs to be seen.
You're at a crime scene,
God damn it, we already
and you sit
did
down
this.
to read?
Titus Andronicus. One of the actors on the Hindenburg lent it to me. They're performing it soon. You couldn't ask for more appropriate reading material. Murder, mutilation, torture. Shakespeare's got it all.
We've lost the only lead we had to help us find Sophia Capone.
You think Baccarini's murder could be related?
Maybe. It's hard to say. Why'd you go to jail?
For murder.
Doesn't seem like an
but
apropos time
You
to
didn't do it.
discuss
Of course.
such matters.
Of course I did it, but I didn't intend to.
Alright, well, we're gonna call this here. There's more to be seen in the land of blues and bullets, but I know something's about to happen, and we should save that for the next episode. What could the strange foreshadowing could be? Is there someone else in this room? I don't know. Let us wait and see.